So Group 2 is alive at the T20 World Cup as India recorded an emphatic victory by 66 runs versus Afghanistan, and they remain in the tournament. They have an outside chance to make the semi-finals. And also New Zealand beat Scotland by 16 runs in a closer than expected encounter. And I'll be covering both those games on this volume of Crikazi Diaries.
Have a look at that, Smiles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out of the stands. That was a flat six right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket. Well, no wicket for 24.
So finally, for the first time in 3 attempts, India have managed to win a game at this T20 World Cup. Afghanistan, they won the toss, and for a change, they actually chose to bowl first, which I didn't think they would do since they were batting first after winning the toss in every other game in this tournament. Of course, Afghanistan were a depleted side in this game with Mujibur Rahman still out injured, and then Asghar Afghan has retired mid-tournament in this T20 World Cup, so they weren't at full strength. And the pitch was an absolute belter, the best batting track we've seen all tournament, and India's openers made full use of it. Rohit Sharma returned to his regular opening spot and he smashed Afghanistan's bowlers, including Rashid Khan, who he took a particular liking to. He ended up with a score of 74 and 47 deliveries, and then KL Rahul finally was able to replicate his form from the IPL, scoring 69 and 48 deliveries. और जो काम शर्मा और राहुल ने शुरू किया, वो पंत और हार्दिक पांड्या ने पूरा कर दिया. Both of them scored heavily towards the end, brought out their big hits, and Rishabh Pant scored 27 of 13 deliveries, while Hardik Pandya scored a whopping 35 of 13 deliveries. Now, while it was brilliant batting by India's batters, I will have to say that the bowling effort from Afghanistan was particularly poor. Rashid Khan as well went for runs, the best spinner in white ball cricket. He went for 36 runs in his 4 overs, और एक भी wicket वो नहीं ले पाए. और फिर जो नवीन उल हक हैं, इनके young pacer who Leicestershire has just snapped up, उनने भी 59 runs दे दिए अपने 4 ओवरों में, और वो भी एक भी विकेट नहीं ले पाए. उसके ऊपर से अफगानिस्तान was so ridiculously poor in the field. They dropped multiple catches और इतनी ज्यादा मिस फील्ड्स भी उन्होंने दी, मिस फील्ड्स पे चौके भी दिए. मोहम्मद नबी की कैप्टनसी भी मुझे काफी ज्यादा क्वेश्चनबल लगी इस गेम में. He started the bowling innings bowling in over 7 रन ही उन्होंने दिए पहले ओवर में, मगर फिर वो आए नहीं बॉलिंग कराने, और वो काफी प्रीमियर ऑलराउंडर है अफगानिस्तान की. You expect him to bowl at least more than 1 over in the game. तो मुझे समझ नहीं आई क्योंकि वो तो ज्यादा पिटे भी नहीं. Perhaps he did this because he's a right arm offie and India had 2 right-handers on the crease for the majority of the innings. खैर अब ये तो सारी speculation है, मगर मुझे तो समझ नहीं आई कि नबी ने एक से ज्यादा ओवर क्यों नहीं कराया. उसके बाद he brought Kareem Jannat late into the innings, उनसे एक ओवर कराया, and Jannat actually only gave away 7 runs and took a wicket as well. और फिर उन्होंने और ओवर ही नहीं दिए जन्नत को. तो ये कुछ डिसीजंस थे जो मेरे ख्याल से काफी डाइसी थे, मुझे ऐसा समझ नहीं आया, and I think they really cost Afghanistan in this game. Of course, with all 4 of India's batsmen firing, they took the total to 210 for the loss of 2 wickets in 20 overs. And Afghanistan never really stood a chance to chase down 211. And they lost wickets at regular intervals during their chase. And only Kareem Jannat जो हैं, उनने थोड़ी सी fight दिखाई. वो not out गए 42 पे of 22 deliveries. और बाकी तो सब batsmen उनके flop हो गए. Mohammad Nabi stuck around for 32 deliveries, 35 किए उनने, but I really was not impressed by Mohammad Nabi as a captain or as a cricketer in this game. Bumrah, of course, was at his reliable best. He took 1 wicket for 25 runs in his 4 overs. And Mohammad Shami, after all of that criticism and vitriol on social media, he came good. He took 3 wickets for 32 runs in his 4 overs. तो उन्होंने तो बहुत कड़ाकेदार जवाब दिए अपने critics को. That said, I think Ravichandran Ashwin was the pick of the bowlers. He came back into India's T20 international side after 4 years. 2017 के बाद वो अपना पहला मैच खेलने हैं. 4 ओवर उन्होंने कराए. He gave away only 14 runs and also picked up 2 crucial wickets. और मुझे तो समझ नहीं आती कि कैसे नहीं खेलते रविचंद्रन अश्विन हर गेम इंडिया के लिए. He's been warming the bench since forever. इस वर्ल्ड कप में भी वरुण चक्रवर्ती को उनके ऊपर प्रेफर किया गया, and I think it's an absolute no-brainer to play Ashwin ahead of most spinners in India's circuit क्योंकि he's a quality off spinner. He's done it before at the highest stage और world class off spinner है वो. There's no doubt about it. As a result, India now have a chance to make it to the semi-finals. अभी भी वो काफी rely कर रहे हैं अफगानिस्तान के ऊपर. They need Afghanistan to beat New Zealand in that all-important encounter. और उन्हें खुद भी अपनी दोनों गेम्स कन्विंसिंगली जीतनी है, नामीबिया और स्कॉटलैंड के खिलाफ. मगर जहां लग रहा था कि इंडिया का कोई चांस ही नहीं है, एकदम से after this 66 run win, after they've improved their net run rate, लग रहा है कि शायद इंडिया पहुंच ही जाए किसी ना किसी तरह सेमीफाइनल में. But I'd still think that New Zealand are favorites versus Afghanistan in that game that is still yet to come in Group 2. तो देखते हैं वहां क्या होता है. But yes, all permutations are open at the moment. और अफगानिस्तान, न्यूजीलैंड और इंडिया में से कोई भी टीम इस वक्त ज्वाइन कर सकती है पाकिस्तान को in the semi-finals from Group 2. Let's talk about the other game, Scotland versus New Zealand, and Scotland won the toss. They elected to field, and New Zealand actually lost 2 wickets in the 6th over. 35 for 2 ho gaye as Safyan Sharif struck twice and also removed star batsman and captain Kane Williamson for a duck. It was Martin Guptill's solo effort of 93 runs of 56 deliveries that took New Zealand to a score of 172 for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs. And he was partnered for the most part by Glenn Phillips. He scored 33 of 37 deliveries in an anchoring innings. Aur daat deni padegi Martin Guptill ko. He's been out of form for a long time now. Even in the 2019 50-over World Cup, he wasn't in form at all. And finally, a class player like Guptill, it's always good to see someone like that come back into form. And he's been a superstar for New Zealand in the white ball format. One of the best hitters off the ball in the shortest format. So good for New Zealand, good for Guptill. Unka form mein aana New Zealand ke liye bahut ahem sabit ho sakta hai. I'd say Safyan Sharif was the pick of Scotland's bowlers. He took 2 wickets for 28 runs in his 4 overs. But Mark Watt also bowled brilliantly. Unne sirf 13 runs diye in his 4 overs and also took a wicket. I'd say Scotland competed really well with New Zealand throughout. Even in the chase, they started off really positively, and wicketkeeper Matthew Cross, he struck 5 fours off an over of Adam Milne in the power play. और वहां लग रहा था शायद यहाँ पे कोई upset ही हो जाए. New Zealand, however, did just enough with the ball, I'd say, to win the game by 16 runs. Not a massive margin, तो उनके net run rate को उतना फायदा नहीं हुआ. And their senior pace bowling duo of Trent Boult and Tim Southee, they delivered. Trent Boult with 2 for 29 in his 4 overs and Tim Southee with 1 for 24 in his 4 overs. Michael Leask, Scotland's all-rounder, he came out to bat with only 5 overs remaining and he scored 42 of 20 unbeaten. So I reckon had Scotland actually sent Leask earlier in the day, he might actually have won the game for Scotland. Chance tha Scotland ke paas ye match jeetne ka, magar wahan I think it was a tactical error by not sending Leask earlier enough, and I think that's where Scotland might have missed a trick. Now, I think Scotland can be very, very proud of the way they competed versus a top quality opposition, but ultimately they did come short, and that was quite expected. New Zealand, on the other hand, will have their eyes set on Namibia and Afghanistan, and they have fate in their own hands. They just need to beat both of Namibia and Afghanistan, and they will secure their spot in the semi-finals along with Pakistan in Group 2. And I honestly think New Zealand are favorites to reach the semi-finals because you can't take this team lightly at all. They're not just a group of 11 people who work hard together to win games of cricket anymore. They are a world-class team. They made the finals of the 2015 World Cup, Brendan McCullum ki kaptani mein. फिर 2016 के T20 World Cup में they made the semi-finals, beat India in the group stage. And then, of course, we all remember how well they performed in the 2019 50-over World Cup. And they are the current holders of the World Test Championship. So this is a serious side, and I reckon they will make the semi-finals along with Pakistan unless there is an upset over here and Afghanistan does manage to beat them. That's a wrap for volume 71, guys. As always, if you enjoyed this volume, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be notified about all of my latest videos. And let me know in the comment section below, which 3 teams do you think will join Pakistan in the semi-finals of this T20 World Cup? I'll catch you after tomorrow's games. That's all for now. Kazi off the mic.
Have a look at that. Miles up. Oh, it's nearly taken someone out of the stands. That was a flat 6 right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members. And it went like a